Scene starts in a dimly lit laboratory. A scientist, Dr. Alex Reynolds, wakes up at his desk with a pile of papers scattered around. His glasses are askew, and his face is filled with exhaustion. He rubs his eyes, glances at the clock on the wall. It's 7 a.m.
Have you ever woken up and felt like you were being watched? Or perhaps guided? It was a regular day for me, or at least I thought it was.
Dr. Reynolds stretches, takes a sip of coffee, and notices a small note on his desk. It's folded, with his name on the front. He opens it with a confused look on his face.
Day 1. You must follow these instructions.
He looks puzzled, then shrugs it off and goes about his morning routine. As he leaves the lab, his phone buzzes. He checks the message, which reads,
Avoid the elevator. Take the stairs.
All right. I'm losing it, but okay. Let's go with it.
He takes the stairs instead of the elevator. As he exits the building, he bumps into a colleague, Dr. Lucy Hale.
Hey, Alex, everything all right? You seem off today.
Yeah. Just a little tired. No big deal. I didn't know it then, but that little decision to avoid the elevator would be the first of many strange actions that weren't entirely my own.
Dr. Reynolds sits at his desk, looking at the computer screen. Suddenly, the phone buzzes again.
You must call Dr. Hale at precisely 2:14 p.m. Do not deviate.
He looks at the clock. It's 11:30 a.m.
This is insane. Who would send me these messages?
But something compels him to follow the instructions. He sets an alarm for 2:14 p.m. Dr. Reynolds anxiously watches the clock. At 2:14 p.m., the phone buzzes, and without thinking, he dials Dr. Hale's number.
What happened next shocked me, Lucy answered. But she wasn't supposed to be at her desk at this hour. Not unless...
Alex? I don't know what's going on, but something's wrong. I need you to listen to me very carefully. You have to trust me.
Lucy? What are you talking about? What's going on?
I don't have time to explain right now. But the messages you're receiving, they're not random. They're from your future. It's you. You're trying to warn yourself. There's a catastrophe coming. You have to stop it.
The call cuts abruptly. Dr. Reynolds stares at the phone, his hands shaking.
That call sent a chill down my spine. Was it real? Was she really me? From the future? Or was this all in my head?
Dr. Reynolds starts pacing, visibly agitated. His phone buzzes again.
Do not tell anyone. Keep the plan secret. Time is running out.
Dr. Reynolds at his desk, deep in thought. He's surrounded by open books and scientific papers, looking for some explanation. He reviews the previous messages, trying to make sense of it all.
If this is really me from the future, then how do I even know if my actions are truly my own? What if all of this is just part of a loop? With every step I took, the line between free will and fate began to blur. Every action, every choice, felt like it was leading me down a path that had already been paved by someone or something else.
Dr. Reynolds receives another message.
Do not trust Dr. Hale. She is part of the problem.
What? No, that can't be right. I just spoke to her. She warned me about the catastrophe.
He hesitates. Should he trust his future self or Dr. Hale? He walks into Dr. Hale's office.
Lucy, I got another message. It says you're part of the problem.
Alex, you have to stop listening to those messages. They're trying to manipulate you, lead you down a false path. You don't even realize it, but you're already too far gone.
Dr. Reynolds looks at her with growing suspicion.
What if you're the one manipulating me, Lucy? How do I know that you're not part of the catastrophe that's supposed to happen?
The tension between them builds, and it becomes clear that neither knows who or what to trust.
It's the hardest thing to admit, to yourself and to others, that the very choices you're making might not be your own. I was losing control. Or maybe I never had it to begin with.
Suddenly, Dr. Reynolds receives another urgent message.
The event will occur in 12 hours. Stop the machine. You will know which one.
He rushes to the lab, where a massive particle accelerator stands, humming ominously. A clock in the background counts down, quick cuts of previous actions.
What if all of this was planned? What if it was all predestined? Was I a puppet of fate? Or was I creating my own destiny? The answer was just out of reach. But time was running out.
Dr. Reynolds stands before the machine. He looks down at the final message on his phone, his finger trembling over the button.
This is your choice. Stop it now or let it run its course.
He hesitates, staring at the machine and the countdown clock. Finally, he presses a button to stop the machine. But nothing happens.
Maybe. I was never meant to stop it.
Suddenly, the lights flicker and the machine powers up again, the countdown continuing. It seems as though he made the wrong choice, but the event still hasn't happened yet.
Did I do this? Or did I just let it happen?
The screen flickers between scenes of Dr. Reynolds, as if stuck in an endless loop. The clock counts down, and the screen fades to black.
Maybe. This was always supposed to happen. Maybe I was always supposed to follow the messages. Or maybe the future is just a lie we keep telling ourselves to make sense of the present.